Hello, and welcome to the End in Mind podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin, the owner of Meraki Media Management. The End in Mind is a place where we come to share stories, tips, and strategies of many entrepreneurs, creatives, business owners, and just some people that aren't willing to live the traditional lifestyle. We talk about how to live outside of the box today and how to incorporate what really is important in your life to keep that end goal always in mind. Again, if you would like to reach out to me in any type of way, you can find me on Instagram at Meraki_media_management. And I hope to hear from you all soon. Thanks so much and enjoy our show. You guys are having a great Wednesday when you will be tuning into this. I am super stoked about today's topic. There's really some fun stuff that I want to share with you guys because I think learning how to describe marketing to different people is really what helps it click. Like, I remember even when I was in elementary school and the teacher was like teaching something, loved her, Mrs. Andriola was her name, she was amazing, and she was explaining something to the class and like, honestly, normally I never understood anything in school, but this one topic I did really understand. But the way she was describing it to like one person in the class, it wasn't resonating. And I remember like thinking to myself, if she would explain it this way, like maybe that person would get it, because everybody has different perspectives on life and different ways that they think, right? Like I'm an abstract thinker, but I'm also like very logical. So it's kind of like a weird balance. Everybody just has different perspectives. And the other day I was on a coaching call and we were talking about Instagram, and I described Instagram as like a people watching application to one of my clients, and she really liked it. Like I think it resonated really well with her because a lot of the times as business owners, we think that what we do is boring. We think we have nothing to show on social, right? And that's what ends up blocking us from going all in on a marketing platform, which in return normally holds up our business from gaining leads, right? So if we would just be able to find something that people would resonate with to share on social, it may actually end up moving the needle for us in our business, right? So I think describing Instagram as a people watching application is really helpful for a business owner that maybe has a lot of difficulty showing up on Instagram stories. That's actually what my client and I were talking about when I shared this with her. And I think your stories are actually the most people watching that you'll probably do, right? Like I was also similarly at a networking event this week and someone said like, I don't know why, but I always get stuck like watching these videos of like my friends dancing or something, and then I'll text it to my other friends and be like, oh my gosh, like, you know, this is just so silly. Like, I wonder why she does these. And then she stepped back and she was like, but I'm watching. So like, does it really matter why she's doing these dance videos? Because it's getting people to watch, right? Which is really the goal of stories, is you want people to be engaged in your life. They want to know what you're doing behind the scenes in your business, even though you may think that accounting is like so boring, right? Like, why would anyone want to know that? It's actually educational, right, for your followers. So like changing that mindset around, oh, what I do is so boring versus, wow, I could actually teach somebody something today through my Instagram story on this people watching application, and maybe they would learn something from it, or maybe it would just be content that they enjoy watching. Like I used to do these stories of me meditating. It's something I'm going to try and get back to after my vacation because it kind of like held me accountable as well for setting aside like 20 minutes each morning to do my meditations. I still do them, but I don't always do them every day. So I'm going to get back into that because it's really good for me. But everyone loved those stories. Like they were just watching me meditate. Like there's nothing like really cool about it. It was a time lapse, so it was sped up, and people really liked that. Another thing that I've recently posted was like Sean and I doing a workout in our garage, and I got like the most amount of replies back to my story, like on a quick workout video, like nothing crazy at all, another time lapse. It was pretty cool to watch back, because people like to watch people. So that's another form of marketing that's taken off in 2022. Even when you think about commercials right now, you used to see things like the Geico Gecko going off through the roof, right? Which I'm sure at some level still does. But now you see things like Apple. When Apple's marketing, they are using real life scenarios. They're using real people. Sometimes it might be like a little bit out there at the end. Like sometimes they'll have people like floating or something, but it still is like relatable. It's all things that human beings do, right? The reason why they do that is because they want you to understand that their product can simply fit well into your life, right? It's not going to be any type of friction, because that's why so many people wouldn't use Apple before, right? Because they're like, oh, well, I'm used to using my Android. So that's actually more directed towards those clients that they haven't converted yet to Apple, right? Like this is how seamless the process of buying a MacBook Air is, or this is how seamless a new iPhone will fit into your world. So this type of marketing is because a lot of people are sick of having to learn new things, right? Like we're done learning things. We've had all of the things thrown at us and we're done learning things. We just want it to be simple, right? So that's a different type of marketing, but something to be aware of, because a lot of those big businesses, right, like somebody like Apple, they have all these psychologists working behind the scenes on marketing and how to push people further down their funnel. So you can actually learn a lot just by observing how they're marketing to their clientele and starting to analyze why they're marketing in that way and who they're trying to target, right? Because like with my meditations, that actually was a form of selling, right? I'm showing people how much I'm working on myself. I'm showing people that I'm putting my self-care first. I'm showing people that I'm filling up my own cup so I can be a better business owner for them when they decide to work with me, right? So it's kind of like this back end way of marketing that's being spun now, right? Into showing and giving more examples of our lifestyle. This is why you should want to work with me, because I'm working on myself, right? And it's going to seamlessly fit into your life because I won't cause any friction because of my own limiting beliefs, right? Like when you run a service-based business, that's when showing your personal growth and personal development is going to benefit your business in the long run, right? Now, that's not why you should do it. I want to be clear on that. That's not why you should share these practices, because you may want to keep your meditating for you, right? Maybe that's something personal, but you can still talk about your meditating on your stories, right? So it's all about finding that happy medium of what's going to work for you. Like recently at this same networking group, I was speaking with someone and she works with children, and she was like, I don't want to put any of the kids' like faces on my Instagram account. And I was like, totally, definitely not. But what can you start to share like throughout your life, throughout your day, that you might think is really boring to most people, but would target your ideal client? So the first thing that came to my mind is if she's working with kids, then she probably ends up working with their parents more so, right? Like their parents are her ideal client because they're the ones paying the bill and coming and finding her. She's a piano teacher. So if she knows that about her ideal client, then when she's marketing on Instagram, she can share things like her making her daughter's lunch, right? Her driving back home from her dropping her daughter off at school, her showing juggling soccer practice behind the scenes in between a piano lesson, right? Like these types of things that we think no one would give a shit about, they actually end up making that trust so much easier for your client, which in return is pushing them further down your funnel. That's what's so beautiful about this platform, because there is no other platform that does this like Instagram, right? So that's how I want you guys to really think about showing up on this platform. And when you think, oh, well, I don't have anything good to show today, think about what you're doing, right? Because what you're doing, your ideal client probably wants to be doing, right? Like that service-based business, when we talk about our ideal clients, they are always past versions of ourselves. Even if you're selling a product, this totally resonates. Past versions of ourselves, then whatever you may be dealing with, whatever you may be going through, is actually going to be where they want to be, right? Because you may be further along on your journey, you just have a little bit more information that you're passing down to them. So that's why this story aspect is so important, and showing up on your stories is so timely. It's actually something that we don't do for our management clients, because it would honestly be obvious that they're outsourcing it, right? It's more personal. It's more everyday behind the scenes. Of course, we would offer story services if someone was willing to send us a video every day, right? That would be different, but it still is going to take them the same amount of time. So at that point, they might as well just post it themselves, right? Unless they need editing or something done on it. But that's one of the large reasons why we handle feed content for our management clients, because that part of their funnel is what's selling for them, right? That long form video, those carousel images, those infographics offering free value, that's building your credibility, when in your story, you're building that know, like, and trust, so that they're like, oh, damn, I actually do want to see what she offers, or I do want to see if she's credible enough to work with my company, right? So when you think about those limiting beliefs, what's stopping your client from working with you? What are they telling you is not working for them? Is it price? Is it a service that you're offering? What's the feedback that you're getting, and how can you start to debunk that limiting feedback, right? That's stopping them from signing with you? That's really what's going to sell for you as a business owner, is knowing your client so well that you know exactly what they need. You can offer it for a price that they want without killing yourself, right? So you always have to think about you first. It is your business, but your client is who you're selling to. That's how you're going to make money. If we don't think about them, then how are we going to market to them, right? So this, I hope, gives you guys some ideas about how to show up on stories more. Since this is something that I'm frequently hearing, I wanted to pass it off to you guys, let you know my thoughts on it. I would love to know your thoughts. I am going to be on vacation when this airs, but send me a DM. I'll get back to you guys. Comment on, our podcast, leave us a review. I just want to know your thoughts and if this is resonating. If not, then I'll create another story post podcast to give you guys some awesome ideas. But I really want you to start to step away from having a coach tell you exactly what to do, and instead reframe how they're sharing it with you, right? So that it will actually click and start to get those thoughts rolling in your own mind, instead of me telling you this is exactly how you need to show up on stories every day, right? Because that's not going to be authentic to you. So I want to share this knowledge in a way that just makes you think about how you can start showing up as your ideal you, right? So thank you guys so much. I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for listening to The End in Mind. I would like to remind you all, if you haven't yet reached out to me on Instagram, we are at Meraki_media_management. It will be in our show notes as well. If you would like to reach out to me, we always offer free coaching through Instagram based around our Instagram training and our business Instagram practices. If you need any type of support, please do not hesitate to reach out to me there. And we also offer several different types of consulting and training packages if you're looking for a little bit more in-depth tips. So thank you all for listening in, and of course, I want you all to keep the end in mind as you continue with your day and or work week. Have a great week, and I will see you all next time.